Hello and welcome to Euro Truck Simulator 2 with me, Kevin Sawyer. Hope you guys and girls are all well and enjoying your day. Right, today I've got this nice little Volvo F88 mod to show you guys and girls. And it's an older truck, as you guys and girls can tell. It's not bad details actually. Details throughout, it's compatible with the newest updates. As you can see, the airlines do attach. The details throughout are pretty impressive. I'll just quickly come over here. Unfortunately, I'm in the middle of doing a run, but as you guys can see from the details, it is pretty good. I'll show you guys where you find it in the shop. Let's just jump in the cab. You see little lights. The only one thing that doesn't kind of work with this is if I show you guys and girls now, if I turn the lights out. This might not be so. When I first had this, the lights weren't really working, though the lights were coming on the main road. They weren't actually illuminating on the truck, but it seems to be working now. I don't know what that's all about. Might have just been something because it was new installed and it was needed to work out the kinks perhaps. But I thought I'd show you guys where it is in the mod shop, well, in the shop once you've downloaded it. Of course, I will leave links in description for you guys and girls to have a look at this for your mod for yourself and have a go on it. So if we go to truck dealers, of course it's going to be in Volvo. So if we go to the Volvo dealership, just buy one online because it's probably the better option. Okay, so if you go find one on, once you go into your dealership, it's not got a great deal of options on it. It's got enough. You've got two types of cabs. So you've got the standard day cab, which if you go inside, you see it's a quite claustrophobia in here. If you suffer from claustrophobia, it's a bit of a tight space. Then you've got the sleeper, and it has just basically its own difference. It has a little bunk on the back, and you have three different chassis configurations. You have the 4x2, the 6x4. Was that 6x2? It says 6x2. Let's have a look. Oh, that might be, yeah, 6x2. So obviously there's only the single rim on there. Looking at the wheels, just have a quick look. 1, 2, 3, 4 on that back axle. On the front axle, looks like a. No, it's 4 on the front. That's just a really wide tyre. No, that looks like a set of two sets of tyres there. So I think they've mistaken that. That's a 6x4, and then the 6x4. Yeah, I'll see what the difference is. The 6x4 looks like a tag lift, perhaps. And then there's just regular 6x4. Engines, you've got it's like you got the 100B, 100. What? TD 100A and a TD 120A. Obviously the power configurations are slightly different between 200 horsepower, 200 horsepower. It's obviously got slightly different newton meters to it. Torques are slightly tuned, obviously turbo rated, and then there's the 320 with a slightly higher newton meter torque. Gearboxes, you only have 3 to select from. If you like to drive in the fastest, well, if you've got lead foot like me and like to go fast, I would heavily lean towards the 16 speed. The 8 speed's okay. It's just it hits off limiter around about 44 to 50 miles an hour. you find it hit off the limiter and you just can't go any faster. Interiors, you've got the standard interior, and then you've got the deluxe or the exclusive interior, which is like a tan leather. Again, you've got the cup, comes with a couple of different skins on here, which are customizable. I believe, no, they're set skins, but look pretty good actually. And then obviously you've got metallic. You can change the metallics, which do work. If I show you, I'll go from that to that. You see it gets a bit darker. Do the same for this. Hang on. My mouse will let me go from that. Try that again actually, because that didn't initially work, did it? Or did it? Yeah, it does. No, come on, mouse. Yeah, it does. Slight hint of it, and that does work. And then I go from this one, and that also works. The good thing is, if you look inside the cab, the paint actually is on the inside as well, which would be realistic. For options inside cab, while we're in here, you've got GPS. You can set GPS here. It comes as a 2-part raw pack, so you will have to obviously unpack it first, and you'll find that the accessories are in there as well. Then you can have compass in here. You can have the radio if you so wish. Then you've got the obvious dingly danglies, and then you've got only one visor. You can actually have a curtain if you wish, or a little blind across the front. On the back, you can also have something in the seat if you wish. Again, personal preferences. On the back, you can have bags or cooler, and then you can actually have a set of curtains if you wish. Again, only in open configuration, not closed, which is a good thing. It could be nice to have the option to have closed. For some people do prefer closed, but then, you know, my personal preference is I'd rather have the window there. And if there's going to be a window on the back of the truck, you might as well, or a cab, you might as well see it. Right, that covers mostly interior and everything in the truck. On the accessory side of things, you've got 2 types of bumper there. One's got that configuration, rear light bumper. I think they're a bit on the low side. They do look, you know, again, personal preference. Again, this is the standard stock, and then you get this big slab of metal. Again, personal preference. Only one set of steps. 3 different types of Volvo sign. There's got a stock one, which is mainly chromed. Then you get the plastic. Then you get the paint, which has got like the little Volvo trim around it, or the little chrome trim around it. And you got 3 different types of grille. There's the standard black, and then you've got this nice white one here, which got like a little footballer on it, I think, or someone running. I don't know. Some sort of symbol. And then you've got slightly wide. It does, if you look at the stock one, it doesn't sit out as bad. It still sits out, but not as much. The white one's completely flush, and then the big one is quite a large slab on top of the front of the truck. So you know, you might want to bear that in mind. Again, we've covered the visor. You've got the visor option here. There's the visor option. On the top, you can either have the spoiler alert, or you can have the Volvo F8 logo, which is illuminated. Handles, only one type of mirror. Oops, wrong. Only one type of mirror. Again, you can select whatever tyre configuration you want. There's no set wheels for this. That does work with the Roman pack, weirdly enough. It might look better with the Roman. Again, personal preference. You can just standard stocks on there, or Michelin's, or whatever you prefer. On the back, you've got different exhaust options. So you've got one exhaust, Or you've got the standard underneath exhausts, which I don't see where it comes out of. Assume it's under the truck somewhere. Let's have a quick scoot round. I think it's under the underside somewhere over here, or might even be towards the back of the rig. Can't immediately see it. It's not jump. Oh, it might be there, maybe. No, that's just the springs. But anyway, you've got that one, or you've got that type. The only real difference, you may not have seen a difference there between the two. It's marginally. Again, that exhaust sits slightly more flush to the cab. This one slightly fits more proud. Two different types. You've got this stock here, and then you've got this, like, I'd call it more of a sort of like show truck kind of esque back panel. As you can see, the fifth wheel there's looks pretty well. Good details there throughout on this mod. Okay, you got so on the back hitch you can have a standard hitch, or you can have a spare tire. Again, personal preference. Let's see if there's any mudguard options. I didn't see any. Doesn't mean they're not there. Nope, there is no mudguard options or anything else. Wheel arch options, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, that covers most of the truck, actually. I believe, yeah. Yes, I want to leave. Thank you very much. Oops, I didn't want to go in here. No. I want to go back to driving. So I started this run. Oh, better jump back in the cab. I started this run early-ish, about 3 in the morning. So I've just waited till it gets to lightish, so then you guys can see what's going on. And I will also like do a proper shot when we get a bit more light. But anyway, I'll bring the turn the engine on, go quiet for you guys and girls. Now I'll go back outside. It has the standard horn. And that type as well. That's the standard horn. That's standard, and I think that's air horn. Again, it's up to personal preference on what you want to fit on it, or what you want to have. That's engine shut off as well. Right, lights. Let's bring the lights on so you can see it's fully illuminated. Let's bring, there we go, engine on, or ignition on, so it's fully illuminating. Does illuminate the road pretty well, as you will see, because I've got lights, main lights on. Once I get a bit more light in the cab, I will show you inside. It's pretty well detailed actually. As you can see, the gauges all pretty much work. Air pressure gauge does work. Again, you can see the little radio lights from there. And I don't know if you guys can see it because I've got no. But you can actually see just there. It's in the dark. That is the parking brake. Let's release that and let's get away. Try and find my way out of this. You can float this. It kind of happily floats between. I don't know if this is the way out or not. I'm going this way anyway. corner. Between sort of like 2,000, well, 1,800, 2,000 mark, it will float. Because I suspect this would probably be, being as the age it's meant to be, would have been a crash box. So you should be able to sort of like float it anyway. Although you can technically float synchro boxes, it's not good for them. See, I did try and float it there. Not very well, but I did try and float it. It's not the quickest truck in the world for acceleration rise, and you will find you have to rev the nuts out of it to get it to go. You've got this weird power band between, sort of like where it doesn't do anything, between 1,500 to 1,800, well, between idle and 1,500. Then all of a sudden you'll find a power band kick in around about 1,600, 1,800 RPM, and it just, you'll see it shoot up. Try and get some outside cam shots if I can. For you guys, where it all goes Pete Tong. Might crash into something. That's not an ideal situation like that. Sorry, mate. Difficult trying to drive it from that perspective. Excuses. I'll try and get the camera one, is it that one? The wheel cam. That's my favourite one because you can still technically drive this thing. Right, let's try and wind it up a bit so you guys can hear it over the roar of the traffic. Oops, that was a bad mistake to make. Come on. Slow it down a bit. Rip the gearbox out, why don't you? Yeah, a couple of things that are coming from understand from watching Squirrel stuff. Eventually, I think at the end of this year they're going to implement opening windows on ETS and ATS, which is going to be cool. I know the Own Your Own Trailers is coming out pretty soon as well. There we go. Got a gear change in there. Jump back in rig. But that's another fundamental thing. It's a cool thing to own your own trailer. I don't know if it's going to be just one trailer or many trailers, but it's another step in the right direction. And the window thing, you know, that's a cool thing. I know developers, I forget his name, the main developer that made this game, he really ideally wants the same as many of us want, where you can actually get out the rig and walk around and check wheel nuts and stuff like that. Well, one thing you will find with this thing, you'll say it's got strange power. Whoa, why am I... Okay. That kind of a bit deceptive. Because I was looking at GPS and I was thinking, right, I need to be going down there, and then I saw the wall, and then I was like, yeah, I can't go down there. It won't let me go down there. Oh, and now we're speeding. Leadfoot strikes again. Yeah, I can get past him without too many issues. say, once you get a fair amount of light in here, so you can see there's quite a fair amount of detail. Lighting's quite good. The only thing I will say about it, again, I hope with the shadows aspect, if I can get it without crashing. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it right in here. See the wheels? I'll try and get it on this side without crashing. See the wheels there? They look a bit weird. They look like someone's got permanent chips following the tyres. We'll wind it back up now, so as soon as we lose momentum. As it hits that lower power band, it seems to really drop off quick. But it is an older rig, so, you know. I always prefer driving with old rigs. I don't know if that goes in or... It did. Oh, cool. I made the right decision there. Mirrors are fully adjustable, as is the wheel. You can't get in the DLC with the spinners on, unfortunately. But again, when you can't change the wheel, you're stuck with the said Volvo wheel. Again, just little things that you can live with. I can live with. Would I drive it again? Yes, I would. You know, it does what it needs to do. The handling, it does do exactly what you tell it to do. It doesn't get over, though I've not had it over 60 yet. I'm trying to get it over 60 now, because that's normally the generic when it gets a bit twitchy. It's at 62 now when I'm speeding, but it doesn't feel overly twitchy. Just got to slow down for the tolls. Actually, I might need to be over that side because I'd rather go through the gate if I can, the prepaid gate. I think they're all prepaid. I think I could have gone through the other one, but I didn't want to risk it. See what I mean about the power band? I did slow down quite a lot that and I should have really switched down. But it's because I got used to driving the Scania where you can get away with a lot of that. Yeah, pull on the nice linear gear. Get into the other lane once we've cleared this junction. Turn the lights out, I don't think we need them now. Try and take a thimble shot at some point as well. It's actually quite a nice truck to drive. So you get it over 60, it's not overly twitchy. See, it does what it needs to do. It just feels a little bit on the heavy side, if you know what I mean. Again, it is an older truck, and again, these would be technically lighter than newer trucks with all the safety features modern trucks carry nowadays, of airbags and this and that and the other, more crumple zones to try and save the driver for certain doom. You know, it makes them heavier. Same with cars, the more airbags you add, the more heavier it gets. The more toys you add, the more heavier it gets. Same as anything really. The more toppings you add on your pizza, the more heavy it gets. You know. I'm getting quite a good look at the cab now. As you can see, the switches all do work as well. Well, not all the switches, but a lot of them do. You'll see them moving around. Quite a good detail. Like the wiper one, and then you can see the little blinkers work. This guy's not going to let me in. Come on. I need to be over there. Mirrors are quite good as well. So they're fully adjustable, and you do get a good range of view out of them. I think the outer frame's probably a bit over exacerbated, but a bit OTT, but again, personal preference. It could have been what they were when they were on the roads. What other things have been lined up for the American truck sideline? Well, for Euro truck sidelines, I actually got the event, the Start Your Engines event done, which is a good bonus. Just keep speed up, mate. Keep speed up. Thank you. Don't have to shift down any more than that then. In that lane though, ideally. See, I tried floating that then. I realised I was doing it just as I was getting committed to the gate. This is where you find it on the hills. You find it starts to be a bit. It doesn't pull up on as like a top end powered truck would do, but again, it's down to power rating. This is an older rig, but yes, you know, I've completed that event, and now there's the whole landslide event going on ATS now. I've technically done 2 runs on that already, but because I didn't do it as a well external contracts run, I did it as a conventional run. It didn't count, which is shame, so I've only done much in 1 run with it. I'll try and get that done at some point. Anyway, let's try and take a... Whoa! I need to be in that lane. I always time these things at the wrong possible time. See, if I do a photo mode within a photo mode, it's... But that's another thing which was discussed on Squirrel's live stream, which was about these events. If you don't happen to complete them for any reason, or, you know, obviously life gets in the way, or you don't, you know, if those people bought the game later on, wanted to take part in that event but couldn't for any reason, I don't know why I'm doing this. Stay in this lane, not try and lane hop. I just do the whole photo mode. That'll do there. You can actually buy them as DLC. They don't know about the price point as yet, but it's I think it's a good and bad thing. People will just say, well, did you buy that and you have to earn it? I can understand why people are going to be a bit upset, because people don't, you know, you have to actually physically earn the stuff. It's But again, life gets in the way when you know you want to play the or want to do it, but for whatever reason, you know, you get tied up with work, or you know, life just finds a way of getting in. Well, life gets in the way for whatever reason, or you're just not in the mindset to playing either ATS or ETS. Come on, dude, let me in. Then I can see why they've added it. I'm going to see it upsetting a lot of people as well, because people that legitimately earn all that stuff, and then there's people going to say, "Oh, look what I've got," da 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 da, and they haven't earned it. They've just bought it. I'll still actually try and actually go out and earn it rather than buy it. Lane. Oops. Again, I tried floating. Bad mistake to making. So a lot of good things are coming for both ETS and ATS, which is good. They are moving the game along. For a period of time, it didn't seem like ATS were really doing anything for a long period of time. And again, ATS really does need some more stuff doing to it. That's why I think a lot of people choose ETS over the ATS. Some of you guys might be thinking, well, what do you prefer, ETS or ATS? I love both games. I spent hours, thousands upon hours playing ETS 1, and probably the same again playing ETS 2, not that you really know it. And you know, the best thing with ETS 2 is that the environment around you changes. Again, most people will sit there and think, "Oh, aren't you concentrating on the road?" Yes, you are, but you do see like glimpses of what's going on around you. And the downside to ATS, obviously, is based in the States. And don't get me wrong, I love the fact that it's based in the States. For years, I wanted to, become an American trucker when I was young, and just live a life on the open road. Again, life gets in the way, but you do get sick of just driving along desert, mile upon mile upon mile of desert, and it just, you find that's what you're driving a lot of the time. It was only like the other day when I was driving it, and I was driving along the new bits that they've added, I was like, wow, actually some greenery, nice. I get it, and it's real life would be better, I guess. That would be the realistic aspect in real life. A lot of their time is driving along desert, but then a lot of their time is driving, not so deserty, more swamplandy and other conditions. So I think they both have special places in my heart. I wouldn't choose one over the other. When I get sick of ATS, I've got ETS to fall back on, and vice versa. I know long term they're going to try and tie up both the companies, so you can have one company do all of them rather than have two separate companies. One will do the whole lot. I know that's a long-term plan for World of Trucks, so that sort of like your accounts will work for both. For both UK or Europe and America. Again, floated it. Shouldn't have tried that. Right, okay. I think I'll leave it at that, guys and girls, but I hope you enjoyed the mod showcase of the Volvo F880 or 888. If you did, please feel free to like. If you didn't like this for any reason, again, guys and girls, please feel free to dislike. But please leave a comment down below to why you didn't like it, so then I can try and improve in the future. If you know anyone else that may also enjoy watching this, guys and girls, please feel free to share. It helps me a lot. I don't mind you sharing. And if you're new to my channel, you see future episodes of this or anything else I'm working on, please don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. TTFN.